Okay,
It's just queuing up.
queuing up.
We're good.
We're live.
Yep, we're live now.
All right. Welcome everybody to the meeting of the Subdivision Authority for Tuesday, October the 25th. On the agenda today is presentation and decision on SB 2020-001, subdivision of Lot 1, Block 1, Plan 07105055 to create 5 new parcels. I will move the agenda be approved as presented. Those in favor? Opposed? And I'm looking to the minutes of the July 2nd, 2019 meeting of the Subdivision Authority. Are there errors or omissions in those minutes? Seeing none, I'll move they be adopted as presented. Those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried unanimously. Moving on to item B2. Mr. Gravel, are you presenting on this item?
Yes, I am. Okay, let me just share my screen. Can everybody see my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mayor Borman, members of the Subdivision Approving Authority. Subdivision application SB 2020-001, as noted, proposes the creation of 5 lots, including 2 municipal reserve lots and 1 environmental reserve lot in the center of Spring Creek Mountain Village. The application complies with the subdivision development regulation, the Spring Creek Area Redevelopment Plan, the land use bylaw, and the engineering, design, and construction guidelines. The site is located in Stage 2 of Spring Creek near Origin and White Spruce Lodge. It's framed to the west and south by Spring Creek Drive, to the north by Streamside Lane, and to the east by Policeman's Creek. Looking close at the anatomy of the subdivision plan, we see 2 MR parcels highlighted in green along the south border. We also see a single ER parcel highlighted in a darker shade of green to the east, adjacent to Policeman's Creek. Finally, we see 2 lots for private development highlighted in pink. Lot 15 is for Tamarack Lodge, a mixed-use building, and Lot 16 will be for future townhouse development. We'll now confirm that the site has the land characteristics necessary for the purpose of the subdivision. The site has appropriate topography and soil characteristics. A geotechnical study was completed at the ARP stage to confirm that development within Spring Creek is appropriate. As well, a geotechnical engineer is required to be engaged at the building permit stage to ensure proper site-specific foundation development. The site has appropriate stormwater collection and disposal. Stormwater and grading plans have been reviewed and accepted by the engineering department for this area. The site is not within the floodway, nor is it affected by subsidence or erosion. The site, as well as all of Spring Creek, is within a high groundwater area and the flood fringe area. However, at the development permit stage, minimum floor elevations are required by the land use bylaw, which mitigates these concerns. The site has access to the municipality's water supply and sewage disposal system. Solid waste services within Spring Creek are private and will be located on site. Proposed uses of the site are consistent with the ARP and aligned with adjacent uses and density. Road access to the proposed lots is also consistent with the ARP. Lot 16 will connect to Spring Creek Drive through a private road. A public access easement will be registered on the road to allow for emergency access and for the public to access the Creekside Trail system. All other lots have direct access to Spring Creek Drive. The ARP requires that 15% of the entire plan area for Spring Creek be municipal reserve. The allocation of reserve parcels is guided by the open space and trails concept in the ARP. The amount of reserves will vary for each subdivision application, but the overall dedication of 15% is secured through a deferred reserve agreement registered on the title of the parent parcel. With regards to the location and size of reserves, Lot 14 MR and Lot 13 ER are generally consistent and as shown in the ARP's open space and trails concept. Lot 17 MR is not shown on this concept, as you can see on the slide, but is recognized through bylaw 2018-25. The lot is 41% larger than estimated at the time of the bylaw, but administration supports the increase as it adds recreational potential to the parcel in addition to its primary function as a creekside trail. Lot 14 MR, identified in the ARP as Village Square, will serve as a public plaza and the focal point of Spring Creek. The ARP describes the purpose of the square as a pedestrian-friendly, busy center designed around the needs of pedestrians and may include a water feature and skating rink. Spring Creek has provided a concept for the square, which you can see up on the slide. The concept includes a water feature that can also be used as a skating rink in the winter. The remaining area will be designed as an urban plaza, which will complement the adjacent businesses to be within Tamarack Lodge. In the opinion of administration, the proposed concept aligns with the ARP. Administration did have some concerns about maintaining the water feature in perpetuity. However, the developer is committed to maintaining the feature and will enter into a maintenance agreement with the town. Here's a rendering of the concept just to give a better sense of what it could look like. Again, this is a concept, so it's not the final design, but just gives you a bit of sense of scale and some of the potential features. The application was circulated to utility companies, government bodies, and adjacent residents as required. No objections to the proposed subdivision application were received. Administration recommends that SB 2020-001 be approved as it complies with the subdivision development regulation, complies with the Spring Creek Mountain Village area redevelopment plan, and no objections were received from stakeholders. That concludes my presentation. Happy to take any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Are there questions from members of the Subdivision Authority this time for Mr. Gravel? I had one question, not terribly germane, but in the report itself, under use of land in the vicinity on page 4 of the report, it notes that the proposed use for lot 15 is a mixed-use building, but that building's under construction, correct?
That's correct.
So it's more than a proposed use. It is.
Yes, that's true.
And just curious, what sort of long-term maintenance is envisioned on the water feature?
The details of it haven't been finalized just yet, but it would have to be to administration satisfaction. It would be things like maintaining the quality of the water, cleaning it, any of the surface utilities that service the water feature, things like that, that we don't feel we have the capacity to or resources or knowledge to maintain. So it's something that'll be required to be finalized and entered into prior to endorsement of the subdivision.
Okay. Look into the other members of Subdivision Authority for questions. See none. There's nothing on the agenda and nowhere on the agenda for the applicant to speak. Is there a need for the applicant to speak at this time? Short of answering questions. I'm looking to Mr. Gravel for an answer on that.
Oh, sorry. I don't think there is.
Okay. I will move the Subdivision Authority go in camera for brief discussion. Those in favor? Opposed? We'll be in camera in a minute. Okay, everybody back in the public meeting? Yes. Okay, at this time then I will move that Primary Subdivision Authority approve SB 2020-001, subject to the conditions in Schedule A. Is there a discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. With that, I'll move that the Subdivision Authority meeting be adjourned. Those in favor? Opposed or adjourned? That was pretty good. Quick.